Assets conference, and he created this little card. It's not just a card, it's basically a wallet, right? It's a wallet, and you explain the use cases for such a touchable wallet in a couple of minutes. Thanks, Victor.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks, Philip. As you can hear from my voice, we had some fun last night. So indeed, I had some struggle to come this early in the morning. But what I'm very grateful for to Philip and the conference and organizers is that it all started last year at CC 2022, when we first presented, the first MVP of what's today known as Ammer Card, right? So Ammer Card is a hardware wallet with NFC, so you can store your crypto securely, similar to Ledger Trezor, but you can also tap and pay with it on chain. This is something that I find very interesting. So for average consumers, it looks like a usual credit card. It comes with a PIN code, so I think everyone knows how to use a credit card, right? This makes the adoption very easy. And I literally tested this with my 2-year-old daughter back then and my 92-year-old grandfather. They both could transact on chain without having any clue about blockchain. I think that's really what it's all about, because we don't have to understand technologies in order to use them. So that's how it was, that's how it started. We never did a lot of marketing, except my LinkedIn post, whatever. But indeed, year back, we have 10 plus blockchain protocols, have 30 own tokens on Ammer Chain, which is a loyalty network essentially. We have 70 plus cryptocurrencies supported, and I think recently even including the $1 each token. We have about 15 cards, 15,000 cards issued out there, physical and virtual, 130 plus B2B partners, and about 20 million of volume settled on the network, right? So that's and this is all bootstrapped without any venture capital funding, whatever. So again, as I said, it's a hardware wallet, it's multi-chain. It gives you the NFC function, so that eventually you sign the transaction with the card on your smartphone. And we haven't announced it yet, but again, small announcement here, it's also integrated with Telegram, so you can also send your crypto through Telegram signing with a hardware wallet. So actually transacting with your friends in Telegram, supported by Cold Wallet, I think this is something cool, it's very easy, and I'll forward it to the group because you can try it out. Again, something that, because we like to innovate and we like to try things out, something that we launched this year is the CEC token for the conference. It's eventually a loyalty system for the conference to give the participants, the look and feel and try of what Web3 can offer. At a lot of conferences, people speak about crypto, but they barely actually use crypto. And I think this is really bad, because if we don't start to use it ourselves as a community, then we can't expect average consumers to use it ever, right? So we said that we lived through from the very first soft launch here. We've been at Davos, we've been at Consensus, a number in Paris, ETH, etc., etc., etc. We said, hey, everywhere we want to create opportunities for consumers to actually touch crypto and pay with it. And I know there are plenty of use cases for blockchain and cryptocurrencies, acceptance payments, but if you actually think about the original Satoshi's vision, it was about P2P electronic cash system, right? It was about transacting with each other without intermediaries. And this is eventually what happens. So you can have the POS device, like I have one here, which is a standard Android POS device. You can also accept it on the smartphone. As you can see on the card, there is a card number. So you can even type in the card number on the website, and you will be able to receive a push in your smartphone and sign it with a card. So the flow is very similar to a credit card, but it's not a credit card. It's actually settles on chain. When I say settles on chain, means that there is a direct transaction from wallet to wallet on the blockchain without any intermediaries. And I think this is fairly unique, because if you look on the traditional payment flow, either with the credit cards or with the banks, that's how it looks like. Two people, mostly they're humans, right? Merchant and a consumer want to transact, And they have to use a lot of intermediaries to do that. And of course, each intermediary takes some piece of the cake, they take some risk, etc., etc., etc. Specifically, it gets complicated when its intermediaries are of different countries. So cross-border payments, remittances, etc., etc. But even if two of us are in the same country, at the same physical store, and you pay with a credit card, it still goes through a lot of organizations around the world. Versus cash, you can actually pay directly, right? And this is something that's somehow weird, because we have ways how we can settle directly without going through all of that. So, as I said, it was another soft launch yesterday without big marketing announcements. That's some statistics. So about 230 euro value was settled at our booth. The utility with the CEC token so far was you can buy a special edition of Red Bull, and I think today will be, the need for that will be much bigger than yesterday, the president of the conference. Honestly, I also need more on myself. We had about 154 transactions with the CEC token, about 75 holders, and yes, 46 Red Bull were consumed, and 25 cars were connected to Telegram. So to give you some numbers. Why I think a P2P way to transact is the best, because if you actually think about the origins of the modern banking, of the modern credit card system, it all originated in 1150, when the Templar Knights allowed travelers to actually travel safely without having the money with them. So pilgrims had to rely on someone who had the knights and was worse than everything than armor, gave them the money, received a travel check or a credit note, traveled to Jerusalem, and then went to the Templar Knights office there and received the money back. That's how it all started, actually. So, whatever, almost 10 centuries later, we have the ability to transact directly without relying on the Templar Knights, which are not bad by the definition, but again, think about the payment flow that I showed over there, right? It's not about replacing that completely, it's just about having the alternative, right? And I think it's very important to have the choice, to at least have the alternative to do that. And of course, something that was in the media recently, one of the, with all due respect to the Templar Knights, right, but they all also face a counterparty risk, right? And this is what happened with Credit Suisse, this is what happened with Silicon Valley Bank, and a couple of others as well. And the big benefit of Web3 here is not only about just payments, exchanging value freely, which I think is crucial and important, it's also about that you can incentivize and actually reward your consumers. So you can build all sorts of loyalty systems on chain, you can tap and receive NFT, you can tap and receive merchant tokens, etc., etc., etc. Right, so it goes more beyond traditional payments, it's more about how you can create an experience. Those are the use cases that we see. Definitely brands, Web3 companies, the blockchain that you can touch. We do them white label, of course, for the events, for Web3 partners, etc., etc. We have a sports case going on where the entire sports team will have the cars, will give to their fans. We have a 10-fan token, you can buy beer, etc., etc. And we have two cases with the national governments who actually want to implement it countrywide, which I think is really cool. Again, as an alternative. So if you haven't received the card, you can check it either at our booth or at registration. You can try it out at our booth with the Red Bull. And that's basically it. I think if you have any more questions, feel free to find me. I'm happy to show you how transactions work. Even in native Bitcoin, right? I think this is something that a lot of people think that Bitcoin is slow, etc. But as the mother of all crypto, it's not that bad. It's actually fairly quick. And of course, the card is protected with PIN code. And that's it. So basically, you literally just tap the card and pay. And you receive an electronic, a paper receipt for an on-chain transaction. So, and for those who don't trust, verify, feel free to come, scan the QR code, and you see the transaction on-chain. And this is not Lightning, this is native Bitcoin. All right, thanks a lot. That's it.
Again, thank you so much, Victor Ammer from the Ammer Group. Thank you for the first presentation today. So, hello and welcome from my side as well. My name is Sarah Gottwald. I'm the